Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel Tea&Art. I hope you all are well. So let's start today's video. So this is my second video with Istoyo Resin and I am testing it on flower bloom. So I mixed around 80 ml of resin and I'm pouring it into my mold. And I have mixed it slowly in order to get less bubbles. So after adding to the mold around 15 ml of resin, I'm adding it to this tiny cup here. And the remaining resin I will be adding to the mold, and with my dotting tool I will be very gently moving it around the mold to release all the air bubbles that are trapped in the corner, just like that. And after that, with my heat gun I will be removing all the bubbles that I have in the mold. So here I will be using Octopus alcohol ink and it's beetroot. By the way, I really love their alcohol inks and I'm deciding to buy some more colors. At the moment I just have 2 colors. So I will be dropping the ink on the edge and it's enough because this is really highly concentrated inks. And after that I will be adding casting craft for my flower making I'm using casting craft here. You can see the petals, they look like rose petals, so beautiful. If I can freeze them in time, they look so pretty. So here I will be adding around 5 drops of casting craft. They just look like rose petals that are laid around, so beautiful in between. If you just see it, it looks so pretty. So I decided to add 1 more drop of ink. So now I will be mixing my white. So after mixing my white, it's still, you can see, a bit on the runny side. So I will be adding some gold foils into the center of the flower. So after mixing my resin and doing everything you have seen me doing, the pouring the alcohol inks and mixing the white, I do wait for around 20 minutes. Because as I explained earlier, you need a honey-like consistency when you're pouring your white. Otherwise you will get blobs or your white resin will drop down. So you need to wait and see your resin has a thick honey-like consistency. So please do check that when you're adding white into your resin, if you need to have these precise petals. Otherwise there are different techniques in which you can pour directly and then you get a very you can say different effect of a flower that is really bloomed a lot. But if you're going for this one where you need some petals and their shapes, so you need to have to wait. So if you're using a high viscosity resin, then you need to wait around 15 minutes. But if you're using a low viscosity resin, depending on, I need to wait here 20 minutes. So after 20 minutes, I am checking my resin again. So it's ready now and I will be, you can see I have waited 20 minutes. My inks are all settled down. You can see the shape of the ink, and now I am pouring the resin. And now I will be doing it in a flowy manner, meaning you will see I will be drawing squiggly patterns, and I started it from the corner, avoiding the blob direct into the resin. So I'm going this way. So I just pinch the end of my cup. This way you can control, you can say, the size of the petal you are dropping into the mold. You can make thin petals, you can make thick petals. And when your resin has a honey like consistency, you can handle your white very easily. It's manageable. But if it is in a thin form, it will be flowing or floating everywhere. So you can see that my white is not moving a lot here. It's because of that. So I just suddenly pulled it away instead of having a blob direct into the mold. So I have seen that some places had been missed because I pinched the cup a lot and the white stopped coming out. So this is something again to look after. So this is actually a mistake that happened here. But now I am trying to use my dotting tool to settle up all the mistakes that I made. Because again, I'm no flower expert here. I'm just afraid that I don't want to pour too much white. So that's why I pinched the cup a lot. So this happened. So I'm just filling up the gaps with the tool now. So again, you can see this is another way of making petals. So there are so many ways of making petals. Yeah, there are so many ways. And I've shown a lot of them in my videos, and a lot of designs of flowers, a lot of pattern of flowers, so much variety. And now I did avoid adding a direct into the resin, but still I had a thick spot over there. So I am just settling everything with my tool now. Now I'm making the petals. In between I swipe my clean my tip of the dotting tool when I'm making a petal. So something to explain here is that I have done all my best to get a beautiful result of a flower, but again this is resin and it has its own mind, so all the designs are always different. So before the result come, I just need to tell you that this time I poured a bit thin petals, so I know that my petals will be a bit on the thinner side instead of a bigger, thicker bloom. So you can see in this way you can correct all your petals that you have poured wrong. So after that I will just leave this to cure and see you next day. So this is the next day and my flower is all cured now. I will be demolding it, but first I want to show you that I made a container as well. So I did film the video, but I don't know, somehow it was not recording and something happened. So what I did here is I simply added the pigment mixed with alcohol ink that I poured into the flower and a bit of blue, and I did the marbling technique. With the clear resin I poured them. It is also called the dirty pour as well. So you just add all the colors in your container one by one, and then without mixing it you start pouring it into the mold and the marbling effects come. So this is another amazing technique you can do with your resin. So this is how it turned out. I didn't do a lot of dirty pours, but it's really an amazing thing to do if you like to have some effects that are surprised for you. So you can see how beautiful it turned out. The colors, everything blended together. So now we will be, and inside it looks like petals. So now we will be demolding the flower now. So this is how it turned out. And so I can see that I have added a bit too much ink in there, so there it is inky, but I love the petals. They are bloomed. I will be showing you in a minute. I know I'm not giving here a clear look, but the flower has bloomed Beautiful. And now is the time to see if what I have to put underneath or I have to leave it clear, but I think I will be doing a black layer of resin so you can see the flower prominent. So now you can see that it has been bloomed beautiful. So I added a black layer of resin underneath my coaster, and meanwhile what I'm doing here is I thought just to add just to glam it a bit, I'm just adding a little bit of gold effect. I'm just selecting a side to where I will be doing using my gilding glue. So I decided to add from here, giving it a bit of geode effect, that's it. And I thought of, instead of making just lines, I did a small circle as well. It do looks pretty when you are doing a geode effect. And after making that circle, I decided to add one line more because it was looking a bit empty. So you can really leave things simpler as you wish, but I really always like to game up my projects. So I will be taking the lines up on the ends so that they look a bit natural. And after doing that, I will leave this to dry so it do sticky, and then I will be adding the gold foil. So my black has been cured now, and I simply poured a black resin on the background, and that's how it turned out. And I'm just cleaning my resin now, and I will be doing an edging on this one. So I will be gilding it around. So here I will be adding my gilding glue on the corners. And after that, I will leave this to dry as well. So this is next day and it's all been dried now. I will be using my gold foil and I will be applying it onto the container and onto the coaster. And after adding the gilding glue, I will be doing a top coat. That is really important to bring out the beauty of the flower. And after that, I will leave this to cure and let's see how they turned out. I made a set today. So this is how it turned out, and this looks really different and I love it. And the ink surely give it a really vintage effect. I love how it bloomed. Every flower blooms really different. Every time the flowers are different. So really love the color combination. And again, Istoyo did a beautiful bloom and I love the resin. Until now I am making some more stuff with that. So the resin is of good quality. And this is how the container looked like. The marbling turned out beautiful, so I might look into this technique as well. So I hope you liked it, and if you did, please do let me know in comments, and also please like, subscribe and share. Thumbs up if you like the video, and if you haven't subscribed, please consider do so. Take good care of yourself, and also I will link the resin in my description so you can treat yourself and take good care of yourself. Bye bye.